team of determined hospice care workers in Eugene recently signed their first union contract. Serenity Hospice in Eugene is a tight-knit office of 22 workers, mostly women. Hospice care is tough work. It's long hours caring for patients who are dying. It's dealing with and comforting distraught families. And in the case of Serenity Hospice in Eugene, this work also came with low pay and difficult working conditions. In 2024, the workers had enough. They petitioned to form a union.
We were, $10 and $15 below everyone else in this area wage-wise, and we weren't asking for tremendous raises. We just wanted more than 1% of where we were sitting at. We would tell them how important a wage increase was for us and how mileage wasn't enough. And we kept asking them, there's got to be more than this. We weren't getting adequate raises. They were minimal to 1% if we got them that year. And our president and our vice president continued to kind of shoo us to the side. They came in with prepared speeches, would never want to answer our questions. I love these patients, but it's really hard to go home and not be able to provide for your family.
A lot of times when we have patients that are actively dying, they require daily visits. And there are times when you're walking into families that are in crisis. So you're walking into this day after day after day, meeting the needs and trying to do the best you can. And sometimes it's hard. It is hard.
So this is what would hook up to an oxygen concentrator to push oxygen into your nose to help people who have a hard time maintaining proper oxygenation of their blood.
Nancy works long hours directly with dying clients on hospice care, helping them with medication, bandages, and other end-of-life concerns. It's hard work, not just physically, but emotionally as well.
So this is a bedpan or a fracture pan, and a lot of times in homes especially, what we will do is we will line this with a brief or a disposable bed liner to make it a little bit more comfortable because these edges are kind of sharp.
I mean, having very long days, seeing patients back to back to back to back, and then the long nights charting, and then getting up, rolling into the next day.
Nancy noticed that many of her coworkers were struggling with the same problems.
Some of the complaints that I was hearing, especially from the salaried employees, is that there was just unfair compensation. The amount of hours that are required from the salaried employees it's burdensome. And by the time you break it down, they were earning less than the hourly employees. And not only was that grossly unfair, but then the older employees with more experience were also being paid less than the ones who were incoming with less experience. So it was just rubbing salt into the wound. The trend continued with newer employees were being hired at market wages.
Fed up, the workers at Serenity began to organize. In 2024, all of the workers at the facility signed a petition and presented their executive director with that and a formal letter. But instead of voluntarily recognizing their union, Addus Homecare began applying pressure, sending daily emails to the workers at Serenity, discouraging them from unionizing.
We were mostly worried about being fired or that they would just shut the office down because we're not a huge office. We're an office of, 22 people. So we really were like, there's only 22 of us compared to this billion-dollar company. They could just let us go. They tried to separate who out of the whole office might be unionized, who could be unionized. Then we would get emails every day, sometimes twice a day, in our work emails that were very against unionizing, because it took us 2 years to actually ratify. And I think it was probably a year and a half before we realized that the lawyer that was coming in to bargain with us was going to actually be serious.
In March of this year, the workers at Serenity won their first union contract.
I think we all cried. Literally, I did. It was such a relief because we'd put so much time of our own personal time outside of work. Due to the union and being ratified now, we have an immense package that everyone who comes here has higher wages, covered health care, and 90% of federal gas mileage reimbursement.
Absolutely, my pay and my benefits have been influenced by the union. I started at this job at $30 an hour. I've been a social worker for 20 years. And now, after we unionized, I'm at $43 an hour. That is a huge increase. We chose to stay because we believed in each other. And now we get to believe in each other and get paid well. And that's priceless. It really is.
Duana's message for other workers in Oregon looking to break out of their working conditions and form a union is simple.
To let other people who want to start a union or be unionized I would just like to tell them to not be afraid. That if you want your voice heard, this is one of the biggest steps that you can make to do that. And not allow a company to make them feel like it's you against them. Because it's not you against them. You're trying to better yourself for them.